Bahrain has, to put Bahrain in context, the human rights issue in broader context. Bahrain is a close ally of the United States, as was noted. It has hosted the U.S. Naval Headquarters in the region for over 60 years. It has few external security options other than to rely on some degree of U.S. security guarantee. There is a formal U.S.-Bahrain Defense Pact that was signed in October 1991 after the expulsion of Saddam Hussein from Kuwait. Under that pact, the U.S. not only has the naval headquarters, but makes extensive use of Sheikh Issa Air Base for air operations over Iraq and Afghanistan. Bahrain has been designated after the September 11 attacks and the major combat in Afghanistan. Bahrain was designated as a major non-NATO ally, under which Bahrain is eligible for certain categories of U.S. defense equipment that it would not be eligible for otherwise. And the United States provides small amounts of security assistance to Bahrain. Foreign military financing is expected to be approximately $19 million for fiscal year 2010 and about the same as requested for fiscal year 2011. These security agreements have caused some public criticism of successive U.S. administrations for muting criticism of Bahrain's human rights record in the interest of ensuring Bahrain's cooperation on these major security issues. However, because the U.S. security commitment is not formal or explicit, Bahrain's rulers have sought to avoid inviting Iranian aggression, in part by signing energy agreements with Iran and by allowing certain Iranian businesses and banks to operate there. Bahrain has also sought to dissuade Bahraini journalists and officials from publicly criticizing Iran. On other regional issues, such as the Arab-Israeli dispute, Bahrain has tended to defer to Saudi Arabia or other Gulf powers, or other powers to take the lead in formulating proposals or to represent the position of the Persian Gulf states collectively. Bahrain's sister states Oman and Qatar in the early 90s opened Israeli trade offices with Israel, exchanged those offices. Bahrain did not do that, declined to do that. However, I believe it did host some meetings of the multilateral working groups under the Oslo peace process. Bahrain hosts the headquarters for the Financial Action Task Force that has named dozens of Iranian entities as potential proliferation and money laundering entities. It hosted the UN Special Commission, the weapons inspection missions in Iraq after the first Gulf War. It has appointed an ambassador to Iraq. There are 100 Bahraini police in Afghanistan serving as trainers for the Afghan National Police. It was one of the only Gulf states to use its own forces to give out humanitarian aid in Afghanistan. Bahrain has taken a turn in the rotation of the command of Combined Joint Task Force 82, which is a 20-ship multilateral anti-piracy, anti-smuggling mission in the Gulf that was set up after the war in Afghanistan. It sent ground and air assets to support Operation Iraqi Freedom to remove Saddam Hussein from power. It was part of the coalition that ousted Saddam from Kuwait and flew strikes in that war. In 1998, it bought 10 F-16s using its own funds, which US FMF is helping to upgrade the avionics right now. And in 2001, it accepted an International Court of Justice ruling to peacefully settle a major territorial and border dispute with Qatar, which is a sister GCC state. And so these are some of the aspects of the broader U.S.-Bahrain relationship. I'll stop there.
Thank you, Mr. Kantzman. And Dr. Ansari, it's our privilege to hear from you, and thank you again for traveling to be with us today.
First, I'd like to thank the organizers and the office of Honorable Donna Edward for extending the invitation. And also, I'd like to thank you for taking time of your busy schedule to discuss in the region where Bahrain is located. I've come a long way to talk and discuss with you about there is sectarianism in Bahrain as claimed by some people, and whether Shias are targeted in the country. Bahrain is in a region with its own particular specific. I cannot say it.
You're doing just fine.
Exactly. I tried so many times. And without a true knowledge of geographical, historical, and demographical background and current situation of the region, it would be virtually impossible to appreciate the significance and consequences of what's happening over there. So please allow me to give you some insight into Bahrain and the region. Bahrain is an archipelago of 40 islands with a total area of approximately 740 kilometers. It's located between Saudi Arabia to the west and Qatar and Iran to the southeast. Bahrain has total population of 1.1 million people. Bahraini citizen with 538,000 makes up slightly less than half of the population, 48.6, while foreigners were 569, or 51.4 of the total number. Bahrain gained its independence in 1971, and unfortunately, as soon as it's become independent, Iran claimed that the right to rule over Bahrain and made noises that it would annex the young nations. The United Nations had to intervene and organize a referendum to see what the people wanted. The result left no doubt among the UN officials and international community. Bahrain wanted to be an independent nation. Another historical landmark of Bahrain was when King Hamad became the ruler of the country in March 1999. A fervent believer in reforms, King Hamad launched a series of policies, social and economical initiatives that greatly improve human rights and democracy existing in the country. A national action chart tracks Bahrain movement, virtual social, religious, and political backgrounds, called for more rights for the people and more diverse civil society. The chart was like the 1787 Continental Congress, the Philadelphia Convention that resulted in the USA Constitution. In Bahrain's case, this resulted in a new constitution. Economic and social developments, a much more vibrant civil society, and the empowerment of women. The National Action Chart was endorsed by 98.4% of the men and women in Bahrain in an historical referendum. The political regime in Bahrain is very straightforward with a strong check and balance system. It is a constitutional monarchical with bicameral parliament that enacts a law and government that implement them, and the independent judiciary that oversees the sovereignty of the law. The principle of hereditary constitutional monarchy, the separation between the three branches, individual and public rights, freedom of opinion, and religious freedom are ensured.
Very much your testimony, and Mr. Al-Ansari, I appreciate your point of view here, but as I said at the very beginning, I think every nation faces human rights challenges, including my own. And part of what our job here is to try to not only call attention to the challenges, but to try to find ways to fix them.